Namaste to aspirants of Ayurveda. I am Dr. Mangalagowri V Rao, working as Associate Professor in the Department of 𝘉𝘀𝘦𝘥𝑢 Yoga, Faculty of Ayurveda, Institute of Medical Sciences, 𝐻𝐵 University. Today, we will be speaking on a very important aspect related to the health promotion as well as disease prevention. In the 𝘉𝑠𝑡ℎ-vritta, it has been mentioned, 𝐻𝐴 निशाचर्या ऋतुचर्या यथोदिता आचरन् पुरुषः स्वस्थः सदा तिष्ठति नान्यथा. That is, different regimens have been mentioned, that is the daily regimen, night regimen and the seasonal regimen, as mentioned in the classics, have to be followed for the prevention of the diseases. In that, we will discuss about the seasonal regimen or the Ritucharya for the health promotion and disease prevention. Ritucharya is made up of two words, that is Ritu means season and Charya means regimen to be followed. It comprises of the changes in the form of diet and regimen according to the seasonal changes to acclimatize our body to the prevailing weather conditions of a particular season. Again, as per Ayurveda, the year is divided into two kala based on the position of the sun in the northern or southern direction. That is Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. Ayana means journey, Uttara means to the northern direction, and Uttarayana is also known by the name Adana Kala or the period of taking away. Here, the bala of an individual, bala or strength of an individual is taken away by the environmental circumstances due to the powerful sun and the wind. The sun takes away the energy of the people due to the heat. Air becomes hot and drains the cooling effect of the earth. People get dehydrated and weakened, and the bitter, astringent and pungent tastes become predominant in the environment, again leading to the depletion of the strength of an individual. The seasons that are present during this season are Shishira, Vasanta and Grishma. Shishira is the extreme winter period, Vasanta is spring and Grishma is the summer season. Dakshinayana is also called by the name Visarga Kala. Here, the strength promotion takes place gradually. It is mentioned, Balam Visrujat Ayam, that is, it enhances the bala or it creates the strength in an individual. The sun releases energy to the people, the earth cools down due to the cold wind and the rain, and people again gain strength as well as nourishment that is lost due to the effect of fierce sun rays and intense wind during the Adana Kala. The three seasons that are present during this Visarga Kala are Varsha, Sharat and Hemanta. Varsha means rainy season, Sharat is autumn and winter, that is the Hemanta Ritu. And again, different months have been mentioned, that is Magha and Falguna as per Indian calendar, that can be approximately connotated to the mid-January to mid-March, that is late winter. Chaitra and Vaishakha Masa, that is mid-March to mid-May, that is spring season. Jyeshta and Ashadha, that is mid-May to mid-July, that is summer season. Shravana and Bhadrapada, that is mid-July to the mid-September, that is rainy season. Ashvina and Kartika, that is September middle to the mid-November, that is autumn season. And Margashirsha and Pusha, that is November to mid-January, that is winter season. Again, as previously mentioned, during the Shishira Rutu or the intense cold atmosphere, the Tikta Rasa, that is most light one, due to the predominance of Akasha Mahabhuta, is predominant in the environment. Similarly, during Vasanta Rutu, Kashaya Rasa, which is predominant in Prithvi and Vayu Mahabhuta. During summer season, Katu Rasa, that is Agni and Vayu Mahabhuta Pradhana. Varsha Rutu, Amla Rasa Pradhana, that is Prithvi and Agni Mahabhuta Pradhana. During Sharad Rutu, Lavana Rasa or Up and Agni Bhuta Pradhana. During Hemanta Rutu, Madhura Rasa, that is Prithvi and Up Guna Pradhana. These become predominant in the environment. Before going on for the Charya or the regimen of individual Ritus, let us first know how exactly these seasons are caused as per Ayurvedic principles. Acharya Charaka in Vatakalakaliya Adhyaya mentions the Prakrita Rupa of Vayu as Tadyatha Dharani Dharanam, that is sustaining of the earth, Jvalano Jvalanam, that is responsible for burning of the fuels, Aditya Nakshatra Graha Gananam Santana Gati Vidhanam, that is maintenance of the planets as well as stars in the celestial life that happens by the Vata. Along with that, Srishtischa Meghanam, that is creation of the clouds, Apam Visargaha, that is raining, Pravartanam Sotasam, Phalapushpanam Chabhi Nirvartanam, that is the flowering of the flowering as well as fruiting of the plants, Udbhedanam Cha Audbhidanam, that is the growth of the plants, Rutunam Pravibhagaha, that is the division of the different Rutus, Bijabhi Samskara, that is the again sprouting of the seeds and then growing into the plants. All these functions are normally maintained by the Vata. So here the point to be considered is Rutunam Pravibhagaha, that is the different seasons are caused due to the effect of the Vata. Then in Sushruta Samhita, it has been mentioned, Sheetamshuhu Kledayatyurvim Vivasvan Shoshatyapi Tav Ubhavapi Samshritya Vayuhil Palayati Prajaha. That is the maintenance of the climate, that is due to the cold rays as well as the humidity in the atmosphere or dryness in the atmosphere. All these things are brought about by the action of the Vata. Again, Sushruta gives a similar opinion. Then, how exactly these seasons are caused as per the modern angle? That is, the moment of the earth is responsible for occurrence of the season. The earth exhibits three kinds of the moments, that is rotation, revolution and precession. Rotation is the movement around its own axis. This causes day and night. Revolution, that is revolving around the sun in an elliptical path, that is in the space, causes the seasons. And precession, the rotation moment where with an axis of 30 degrees, here the gradual change in the axis occurs by 11,000 years, leading to the major change in the seasons as well as the entire environment. The Earth's axis always remains pointing in the same direction as it revolves around the sun. As a result, the solar angle varies at a given place throughout the year. Variation in the sun angle is prime cause for the seasons. The orientation of the earth with respect to the sun also determines the length of the day. Together, the sun's angle, day length determine the total amount of solar radiation incident at the earth. On about 21st or 22nd of June, the northern hemisphere is tipped towards the sun. At the noon, the subpolar point or place where the sun lies directly overhead at the noon is located at 23.5° north latitude. This date is known as summer solstice, the longest day of the year for places located north of the Tropic of Cancer. That is 23.5° parallel was so named because it is during the astrological sign Cancer when the sun's ray strike at their highest angle of the year north of this line. The North Pole tips into the sun and tangent rays strike at the Arctic and Antarctic circle, and a tangent ray is one that meets the curve or surface in a single point. This creates 24 hours period of daylight, that is polar day, for the places located polewards of the 6.5° north, and the South Pole tipped away from the sun, sending places of poleward 66.5° south into 24 hours of darkness. 22nd or 23rd of September, the earth moved around the sun such that the poles are neither pointing towards or away from the sun. On this day, sun is directly overhead 0°, the equator at noon. The tangent rays strike at the poles. It is autumnal equinox and all the places experience 12 hours of day and 12 hours of darkness. The winter solstice occurs during the December 21st and 22nd or 22nd when the earth has oriented pole is facing away from the south pole into the sun. Again, the tangent rays strike at Arctic and Antarctic circles. Place polewards 66.5° north are in grips of cold and polar night, and place polewards 66.5° south experience 24 hours of polar day. The sun lies directly over 23.5° south, occurring during the astrological sign of Capricorn. So 23.5° south latitude is called as Tropic of Capricorn. Continuing to the March 21st or 20th, the spring equinox, the earth has positioned itself similar to that which occurs in September, only on the other side of the sun. Once again, the tangent rays strike at the north and south poles, and the perpendicular rays of the sun strike the equator at noon. All places have equal day length, that is 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night, as the circle of illumination cuts all the latitudes in half. So totally, to sum up, 21st of March and 23rd of September are considered as the equinox, where the 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night are experienced throughout the world. And on the December solstice, the 24 hours of darkness at North Pole is experienced on 22nd of December, and on 21st of June, the 24 hours of darkness is experienced in South Pole and 24 hours of light experienced in the North Pole. Like that, the amount of the day and night vary. Later on, let us discuss these environmental changes, how exactly they bring about physiological changes in the body of an individual. During the warm weather, the body tries to get rid of the heat or to be cool by evaporating the moisture from the skin and the respiratory tract. Simultaneously, the intestinal tract reduces absorption of food products and increases the absorption of the liquid from the digestive tract. The body does not need large amount of calories which is derived from the food. intestines and spleen cease to work at full capacity and thus reducing the amount of heat produced. In the warm weather, intestinal capillaries are closed to considerable degree and the capillaries to the lungs and the skins are largely expanded. When the blood supply is more, the organ has more resistance power. The bacteria causing infectious disease find it difficult to invade the tissue with expanded blood circulation. Thus, the first step in inflammation or congestion is being opposed by the automatic action of the capillaries, which bring about rush of the blood to that part of the defense action against the attack. During the warm weather, resistance of the lung and skin are maximum. The intestines are shrunken blood supply and reduced activity, so resistance power is greatly reduced. So, infant mortality rate due to diarrhea due to paralyzed intestinal activity is more during the hot days. The reduced appetite is present both in infants as well as the adults during the hot days. And a similar explanation has also been given in Ayurveda, wherein during the Grishma Ritu, the Agni is Manda. So, one has to take light food and more of liquid diet. That has also been mentioned in Ayurveda, which is very true. During cold weather, more amount of food is essential to supply body with the excess amount of heat required. Digestive organs are working in their full capacity and capillaries are supplying intestines are fully expanded to supply abundance of heat. The loss of heat through the respiratory tract and skin are prevented by shrinkage of the capillaries to them, so that the loss of heat is prevented to the maximum extent. The resistance power of respiratory tract and skin are reduced and that of the intestines is greatly enhanced. Incidence of respiratory infections like pneumonias, diphtheria, bronchitis, chickenpox, measles, scarlet fever, etc. are more during the cold season. The people tend to stay in the same place, increasing the chance of spread of the infection through the droplet and droplet nuclei. So, even in Ayurveda, during the Shita Ritu, Agni is enhanced. One has to take heavy food to counteract that Agni. So, for that reason only, it comes under the Visarga Kala, wherein Bala of an individual gets enhanced due to the environmental factor.